You look like you've been out in the sun too long. Have some of this. Might make you feel better. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And we're taking a look at another Core Class Kingdom toy. This is a new character to the series, and she is called Vertebreak. Apparently, according to Hasbro's promotional stuff, Vertebreak is female. She is a Predacon. And while she does transform into a fossilized dinosaur, she does not break apart like the other fossilizers that will be featured in this line. So she's a bit of an oddball. But of course, the early releases from Hasbro also showed that they obviously don't pay attention to dinosaur skeletons very well. Early reports, especially ones released on Amazon, indicated that Vertebreak becomes a Velociraptor skeleton, trying to popularize it on the hype for the upcoming Jurassic World movie. However, Vertebreak actually becomes a Dracorex skeleton, although paleontologists are still on the fence as to whether or not Dracorex is an actual dinosaur. Of course, those of you that would like to see a Dracorex in action, I recommend playing the Jurassic World Park Simulator game, whose title escapes me. Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution. Play that, and you can raise your own Dracorex. Of course, the specific scientific name for the Dracorex in that game is Dracorex hogwarti, which implies that the people that discovered the skeleton were major Harry Potter fans, which is also referenced in the Transformer Wikia article on this character. But regardless of that, we will say that this is a strange-looking little character, mainly due to the fact that it's intended to look like a skeleton dinosaur. So it probably has the fear factor thing going for it. After all, who wouldn't panic at the thought of a dinosaur skeleton charging at you? At any rate, let's take a look at Vertebreak's lone accessory. She only comes with one, and that is her tail. As you've seen there in robot mode, she can hold her tail like a sword and use it to try to beat down any Transformers foolish enough to stand against her. Some of you may notice the way the vertebrae are done up here, or any of the other tail bones, the way they're done up. I would say part of it's some of the vertebrae, the way it connects, but I'm no paleontologist, so don't quote me on that. But some of these that are sticking out here on the back are done a little differently. That's done so that you can store her weapon. There are a couple of open areas here on the back side, and you can use that to connect it to her back, and she can carry her sword back there instead. So you at least have that as an option. Now we'll take a look here at Vertebreak's articulation, and she does have quite a bit for being a skeletal dinosaur. Her head can be turned from side to side a bit, and she can look up and down. Her head is on a ball joint. Her arms can be raised out to the side, about so far. And it can be rotated all the way around, You will have to shift it a bit to avoid the dinosaur arms. Just knock the tail off, so we'll just set it out of the way. Her arms can bend at the elbow a little more than 90 degrees. And she does have a swivel. Since her elbow is on a ball joint, her arm does swivel at the bicep. So she will have the famous G.I. Joe battle grip. She does not twist at her hip area due to her size. Well, you can spread her legs apart to do a full splits. You can also raise her leg up at the hip. Quite a range of distance. And you can also bend her leg at the knee 90 degrees. And her ankle is also on a ball joint, so you can bend and twist it in all sorts of directions. Quite a range of motion for somebody that becomes a skeletal dinosaur. Okay, to transform Vertebreak. We start by turning her around. And we're going to raise up this rear section so that it's out and about like that. We come up here, we fold her head back and down so that it goes inward. But while we're at it, we're also going to raise up her chest, which has the dinosaur head. Raise it all the way up and raise it back so it's firmly flush against her backside. Then this piece here that had formed her chest panel, we'll fold that down and it will cover her robot face in the back. And then next we will raise up the back plate again to cover all that up. And we'll come up here and we will adjust her dinosaur head so that it's down like that. And then next we are going to take her arms, take her robot arms, and they are going to fold at the shoulders inwards onto her chest. This may take a little bit of effort, so do it one at a time and go slowly, because as you can see the arm just popped off like that. There we go. If need be, shift the arms a little bit so that they do move on you. Then, once they have moved out like that, you will connect the little posts that are sticking out just at her wrists, and they'll connect into a hole just above her hip. That will secure the arms onto the body. Then, once you've done that, you'll fold down the dinosaur arms so that they'll complete the look of the rib cage. Then we swing down her legs like so. Bend the knees back a bit. And then lastly, take her tail and plug it in. Make your own colorful joke about that, folks. And then there you have it. Vertebreak is in her dino skeleton mode. And as we stated earlier, she is a Dracorex. At least until paleontologists tell us otherwise. Now, surprisingly, she does have retains a fair amount of the articulation in the skeleton mode. The head can be rocked up and down. Can't really, the mouth is on a bit of a hinge, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. Plus, it's also made of a different material, so I'm kind of afraid to break it. You can't move the arms, unfortunately, but you still do have all of the articulation in her legs, so that does give you some fun things to do. Especially when you consider that at this point there will be 2 other dinosaur skeletons released in the Kingdom line. At least one other one will be reviewed before this month is over. The second one will be reviewed if I manage to find one before the month is over. Now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Vertebreak? This is probably one of the few characters that I could say you might be able to live without. Since she's an original character and not one from the Beast Wars cartoon, there isn't going to be a lot of fandom behind her, as we really don't know anything about her yet until we get some tie-in media that introduces us to her. And that we have to wait and see if she does make an appearance in the Netflix cartoon. So, as of right now, there's really very little reason to get her unless you know somebody that is a major fan of dinosaurs. Well, they might like having this one in their collection. But other than that, there's really nothing remarkable or outstanding about this figure. Now, don't take it as the fact that I'm knocking it because it's a female character, because I'm not. I've been very glad that Hasbro has pushed to have more of the female Transformers appear in this modern toy line. As even my channel can attest to that there are a fair number of female fans of the Transformers. So, it's nice to see more female characters. It's just, unfortunately, when you create a new character and you don't have the added media that the Generation 1 era had, we kind of know nothing about her. This is a case where the tech specs from the G1 era would come in handy, or even the toy bios that were featured on the Beast Wars toys, just to give us some idea as to what to think of this character. Because otherwise, without that, well, we have a skeleton of a Dracorex, and that's it. At any rate, that concludes my review of the Kingdom release of Vertebreak. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and join our ranks. Make sure you ring the bell, because we'll be posting videos this month like crazy. I also ask that you share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. That's what helps this channel grow. And share your thoughts about Vertebreak in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.